Welcome to Drew's College Athlete Spotlight here, episode 18 on the podcast. On this Monday afternoon, I am joined with Mayya Perova, a Division One tennis athlete here
Woohoo!
at DePaul University. Mayya, how are you doing here on this Monday afternoon? Great to have you.
I'm so excited to be here, so thank you. I'm doing good. Came back from Michigan yesterday, and right now already downtown actually. Uh, Gotta do some studying. It's fine. We have like a day off today, like off from practice, but still gotta study. Gotta go to my class. So yeah, but doing good.
Yeah, you got to be on that grind as a graduate student. We'll talk about your story here,
Yep.
how you ended up at DePaul, right? Former University of Milwaukee student, yes, transferring, graduate transfer to DePaul. And this is going to be a great episode. We have a lot to talk about here. We were talking
Oh
about a
yeah.
lot, like before the show, even. So I was like, let's get this conversation on the air. So let's go right back,
Yeah.
back because as we've talked, you're from Russia here. So, back back in your home country, right? I guess going with tennis, right? Why tennis? And how did you when did you start playing tennis is the question.
Yeah. So I started playing when I was like five or six, and actually, like the reason why I started like going into sports was kind of funny. I was always like very active. I would always like I don't know run, like always annoy my parents, and I couldn't fall asleep. Like I had so much energy I couldn't fall asleep, and then like my mom said, you need to do some sport because otherwise like this energy needs to go somewhere. And then yeah, there was like a tennis academy close to my home, and they were like opening like different groups, and I went there, tried it, I liked it, and kind of go from there. And I think when I was like 10 or 11, I had another coach, and he was like more professional. And yeah, from there I started like playing tournaments and like being more dedicated to it and practicing a lot. And yeah, so that's how it all started basically.
So I like to say then the rest is history, right? You start playing 5 or 6 and boom. Now look where you are right now, graduate student playing at the Division 1 level in the Big East Conference, right? That's big deal
Crazy.
here in the tennis
Yeah.
world. And um I guess, going back, right, in Russia was like, did you prefer to play like singles? Were you doing doubles? Did you have a partner who you were playing doubles with? I guess, how did that go about?
Yeah, so great question because it's very like it's very different. I feel like tennis, like in US and college level, and like tennis world, how it is in juniors, in Europe and like everywhere else. It's basically like I used to play both singles and doubles. I would say I was more focused on singles actually. And like the way I was practicing, I was just like I had my coach, I had my hitting partner, let's say. I had also like other girls we would practice together, but it wasn't like very team oriented. It was more like we just practice together. Yeah, I had like conditioning and all of that stuff, and then we would like go and play tournaments. And I actually like before going to college when I was 16, I actually played two like first stage professional tournaments, which was very like it was very nice like just to see the level and to play them. So yeah, and kind of like how I guess I can go into like how I got into college tennis in US in general. I so like when I was basically finishing up like when I was in high school, and there was a question like do I go pro or like do I go to university and stuff like this. um Basically like how it is back home, sports in like universities and in colleges, they're not as developed, so you cannot like let's say do school and then like play for your school and have a scholarship and like play the high level. Like it's either you go pro, especially for tennis, or you're gonna just go and study. And I was like thinking like, man, I still want to do this, like I still want to play, but I knew it's gonna be very hard for me like to go like actually to pro and to make like profit out of it. Because with tennis it's kind of like if you're top 100 like you're making profit, and if you're outside of 100 it's just very tough. And then I had a few friends that were like older than me, and they were already like going somewhere in US to university, and then they were playing for the team. And like I remember there was a girl in my academy, and she like once came back for the summer, and like she told me because I didn't know much like about US in general, how it works. And she like told me about the whole thing, and I was like, okay, like that's something that I would want to do. And yeah, and then from there I think I just, so we have 11 grades in Russia. So I think I was wrapping up my ninth grade and going into like 10th grade. And so I started like to think about it and basically doing all the necessary steps to get into. So yeah, kind of like that. And then yeah, it's just like statistics wise, it's very interesting because in NCAA, actually, tennis is like the most international sport for both men and women tennis. Because again, I feel like since in US, I feel that like sports in general are so developed, and there are so many other sports that are I think more popular than tennis. But tennis is pretty big in Europe. So I think that's why like lots of coaches like to recruit people from overseas. Yeah, so kind of like that.
So that's the story of ending up. I guess with that, were they giving you schools in mind? I guess like when they were talking about what schools they were looking at, what schools, what were the common ones they were going to?
Yeah, so it's actually I have like lots of friends who, and it's interesting. They go like all over the place. Some of my friends go to like good D2 schools that are like ranked. Some of my friends I know go to like big schools. Like I have a friend from Kansas State. I know a girl from Baylor University in Texas. But also it's funny. I have so many friends that are like around Midwest, for example. Like I just saw them at Michigan State tournament that I went to. From Northern Illinois University, there are like two girls. From Chicago State, there's like a bunch of Russian girls. And it's funny because especially in Chicago State, there was a girl that I used to play her so much back home, and then like she also like she committed there, and like I didn't play her, but she was like right next to my court, and I was like, it's so funny how we like played back home in Russia, now we're here.
Small
So
world.
yeah, I have friends like all over the place. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy, but kind of everyone commits like, I mean, it depends on the level, but everyone goes to either like big schools or kind of the same, I would say, level as like Milwaukee school.
And going back then to Russia or anywhere, do you have a favorite tennis court? I mean, is there really is there one that just stands out to you? That, like I want to play there if I'm playing someone.
Like in Russia,
Yeah, yeah,
like a
even
Russian tennis
anywhere. Is there
player.
like a specific tennis court that stands out to you, like your favorite one?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, mm, you know what's cool? Like, I think there's so many like good facilities here in US in general. Like, even when we went to the conference tournament at University of Michigan, I was like, man, because like back home, like yeah, we have courts, but I personally don't have a favorite like court back home. And when I came here and I saw like the facilities of big university, I was like, oh my god. So actually, University of Michigan, I really like their indoor. Like they have a bunch of courts
Okay.
outdoors, and their indoors facility is just like whoa. So actually, we have regionals there. So I'm like, I hope I will qualify because I don't know, I just want to play there. But it's cool. Like also like here at DePaul, we're gonna travel a lot, and we're gonna go actually to like Baylor University. So I'm excited to go there because I know they have good facilities. So, I mean, honestly, I'm still amazed by how just facilities here and like at big universities and schools, they're just like so good, so awesome to play, the atmosphere, like everything. So I love them all, honestly.
That's great to hear, and maybe you can see your friend at Baylor as well when you travel there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
Oh
the
yeah.
schedule too. Um, what about like a training program? I guess like what kind of training were you going through at let's say the high school level back home? Like how does that compare to like what
Mhm.
you're doing today? Was it similar or how's that gone?
It's actually a very good also question because it is different. Back home, we don't do as much weights. Like we do conditioning, lots of conditioning. So like lots of running, lots of speed work. We also I used to practice like a lot, even like during tennis practice, we would do conditioning as well. So like all the like the way I would practice, I would just go from side to side, like hit enormous amounts of balls. And when I came here, when you come to college, like obviously, especially during fall season, when it's not our season, we focus on weight work. And for tennis, like we don't need to like lift heavy, but we obviously need to like lift so it's like hard and to get stronger in general. So that's definitely like I feel like for everyone who comes from Europe when they come here. It's like a big change. Because again, it's just like a scene back home where like we don't lift as much. So I remember my freshman year, like I mean, it was my first time ever like doing dumbbells, like all that good stuff. So that's kind of like the biggest change I would say. But that's perfect. Like again, here, for example, like what we do at DePaul, like we have 2 days when we do like tennis plus conditioning. We have 2 days when we do like tennis plus weights. So and it's like for tennis, for like our sport, like that's like a perfect combination. So yeah, definitely like lifting weights is the biggest change I would say.
Yeah, and that's something I commonly hear when I talk to tennis athletes. It's about more of like
Mm-hmm.
going from that aspect, right, of just condition repetition in terms of practice. Then you start getting, like you mentioned, that volume to right gain muscle endurance and just a lot of that aspect. That kind of big shift from high school to college, or even like how you
Yeah.
mentioned for you it was from going from Russia to U.S. plus high school to college. You had double the really shift there. But I want to talk then about kind of the recruiting process because right you mentioned like your ninth grade you were really looking into this. I guess did schools start contacting you? Were schools, because you mentioned before the show even to me about how international like coaches are looking international. I guess were coaches reaching out to you right away from the US, or how did that go about?
Yeah, so it kind of depends. If you're like a very good player, if you like travel a lot and you play like lots of international tournaments, because there's basically like if you play international tournaments, obviously you have international ranking. So kind of lots of coaches, especially in big schools where they can like provide you come for official visits, so they can pay for your flight and things like that. They usually scout and like they would reach out to you like via email or like however they can. But for example, how I did, I basically well, so I talked to my friends if they have like any opportunity, and I like the way I did it. It was basically I just grabbed like the list of universities by like ranking wise, or also like by ranking, or again I was just talking to my friends and they like gave me like lists of schools like literally randomly. I was like I have no idea. I was like let's just see. And then I so like I got all the list of schools, I got all their contacts online, and then I was just like emailing them, like just introducing myself, like putting the links to my rankings. And I already for tennis basically I have like somewhere on YouTube like my recruiting video, which is basically me playing like all my strokes, like forehand, backhand, volley, serves, everything. And then I also had another video of me playing the set, so just like playing a set fully. So I also provided like the links for these two videos. And yeah, and from there like all the communication started. You know, some people replied, some people didn't reply, some were interested, someone said sorry, like well the field. So it was kind of like back and forth. But yeah, I mean it really depends. I feel like if you're like average player, you should contact. But if you're like an amazing player, like very high rank, like high rankings, then big schools they would like contact you.
So what schools then did you all have in mind then after sending out these messages? What schools stood out?
It's literally like I remember I talked to different schools, and kind of like the big schools where I was like, okay, like I really wanted to go there, but then didn't work out was actually University of Miami. I talked to them. I talked to Washington State, but then like during some calls, I just figured it's just not the environment that I really like. Just like from what the coaches were talking about. Um, yeah, I talked to Northern Illinois University as well. Let's see, Idaho State, some schools in Louisiana, like literally everywhere in US. Because I was like, but for me, like, and kind of, it can answer the question why Milwaukee. I was just like really looking for the fact that I'm gonna like the coach from the call. I was like, I just need to like him as a person, like the way he explained things. Oh, I also talked to Utah State. I was actually about to commit to Utah State University. Like I was very close, but then there was one thing I just didn't like about the coach. So yeah, like for me, it was about the coach, and then yeah, and also really wanted to live in the city because again, I'm from Moscow. I'm from the city, and I was like, I just don't think like college town experience will be for me. So that's why I was like, if I can be like somewhere around the city, that will be like nice, you know. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's an awesome story. I'd love to hear the other names, right, of places, um, athletes that we're looking at before, and of course, I guess like academic wise, what stood out then with Milwaukee, right? What kind of influenced that?
Yeah, I mean, again, I honestly like I remember while commuting, I cared about tennis mostly. I was like, I need to get like a full ride. I need to like the coach. That was like the most important things for me. And then academically, I was like, okay, well, if the school is not good, like literally by like, because I obviously researched it, that I'm not going into. But if the school is like average or like very good, like I'm okay with that. But honestly, I was mostly I cared about tennis at that point. So it's very good that in Milwaukee it kind of worked out well. Because I also like before coming to college, I didn't really know what I want to study. And then I took up the communication and marketing majors, and I think our business school is pretty good in Milwaukee. So yeah, worked out pretty good in the end.
For sure. And then I guess let's go to then, right. You've already completed your years at University of Wisconsin Milwaukee, and let's kind of talk right
Oh
through
yeah,
that. So you went through all 4 years there, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, of course. And I just guess I want to hear about how your first year went. How was like that shift from high school to college, and then also from Russia to U.S. in tennis, like competition wise? Did you feel
yeah.
like you were ready for it? Were you?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, I think for everyone who comes here, like for the first time from somewhere else, it's like cultural shock. There's like literally so many different things, like just different culture, the way you practice, like your team environment, like there's so many things. But obviously, I think what helped me the most is like my teammates, because they also like bunch of like pretty much everyone is international, so like they know how I feel, and they really helped me just like to get settled, to get used to everything. So definitely thanks to them, because otherwise like it would just be very hard. So definitely the teammates helped me a lot. And then I mean, kind of my freshman year, I think I did pretty well. Like just due to people I like start getting used to and liking it, and I really like the fact that the support that your teammates give to you, and just like the way we practice, which I feel like I actually lacked it in my like juniors years of tennis, because it's like again it's much more individual, and I actually lacked that aspect of being around the people that I love. So that actually like influenced and helped me so much to be like even more successful, because I honestly before coming to college I was like that's probably it, like that's like the highest I can go with tennis. I don't know why, but I just thought so. And then when I came here, like I actually started playing better, like result wise for sure. um yeah, so I mean I think I did good. Like one thing though, again going back to like doing weights and stuff, as I wasn't used to, I actually got like very injured with my ankle. Like my freshman year, it was, I think it was like November or something, and then from there like that ankle, like I still wear a brace for it because it's just like to be more safe. But it's kind of like, yeah, my ankle, it's kind of triggered me throughout my whole entire career of college tennis. So there were some ups and downs, but overall I think just people like really helped me to get used to and to actually like love college tennis for
Mhm.
sure.
And yeah, your freshman year for sure went well. I'd say earning Horizon League Freshman
Yeah,
of the Year, right, and all league honors,
yeah,
bringing it through here. You finished over 13-8 overall, 6-3 in Horizon League play, and then
yeah.
you had a school record of 21 double wins. Big flex there, 21-2 overall, 8-1 league play. So, congrats on
And
that
it's actually
success.
it's thank you. It's actually kind of funny because I like again like I played lots of singles, but I didn't play lots of doubles, and I didn't know because like doubles it's very fun. I think it's more fun than singles, honestly. Like we do lots of like different plays. It's more tactical in my opinion than singles. And yeah, so my coach, he like worked with me a lot, especially during fall season. He just like taught me everything, like how to play I play very aggressively on the net. Like I literally stand there and just try to poach everything. So like he taught me a lot, and also I mean I was very lucky my freshman year. I played doubles primarily with our senior at the time, from France, Alex, and she's a senior, and she's like stud, like solid. And so we played doubles for like we basically went undefeated, and then we switched partners. But yeah, and she kind of just like taught me the basics of doubles from there, like just the mentality, like how what to do, how to play. Like I still like whenever I talk to her, I'm like I'm so thankful because it was like foundation for me, just like to go forward, basically like throughout all my years. Yeah, but man, like the people, like literally, I loved it so much. It just like helped me to be successful. Like without the people, I don't think I would have played that well, honestly.
That's awesome. And then right, your senior year this
Yeah.
past year, wrapping up all Horizon first team, second time, 19-5 in
Yep.
singles, and then yeah, then just doubles went very well as well. You were named League Singles Player of the Week March 17th. Got to include that in there, right? And then you guys went to the
Yeah.
Horizon League Championship. I see here. I guess going through your senior year, I guess was that your favorite year of tennis you played in college, or with freshman year, like
Yeah.
what would yeah? Because senior year really stands out in terms of accolades and
Yeah.
just overall the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like senior year, it was awesome. It was probably my favorite year because again, like the team that we had, like I had so much fun. It's just like amazing people, and like we were actually like so like close friends, like everyone. And yeah, I mean, I guess like I figured out coach tennis by my senior year, like just everything. I was just very used to everything, and I just, I mean, I was like, man, like I have this year, and then I still haven't committed anywhere. Like by the time, so I was like, well, I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna play my fifth year. Like it depends if I commit somewhere. And I was like, let's just enjoy tennis. So I was like, I feel that my freshman year, sophomore year, and even junior year, I was very like tennis, tennis, tennis. I was very analytical. I was like cared about it so much. And like my senior year, I don't know, I was like, man, I just like love these people. I love to travel. I love to like, I don't know, it was like more fun aspect for me. And it actually helped me so much. Just like, I don't know how, but it just helped me so much to like win a bunch of matches. And it's kind of like, it was a cool experience because I was like very focused on my matches, but then like, I don't know, I was also very just like very easy on myself, and mentally I was like very stable throughout the whole match, like all the matches. And yeah, it helped me to be successful and obviously like bring the results for the team. Yeah, so yeah, I guess in the year I just figured how college tennis works, and that's how all the success came.
I
So
love how
yeah.
I love how you brought up though your senior year, just really like taking a step back, right? Not thinking too analytical, but just letting the game come to you. It sounds
Yeah,
like
just
that's an
enjoy,
awesome.
like literally. Yeah, because I was like, I mean, I know like it's also interesting, for example, you see like basketball and football, like lots of players obviously after college, like they commit to professional. Tennis is different. Like there's not a lot of players who go professional. There's like obviously from big schools, I know lots of people go into like doubles professional, but like tennis is a bit different. It's just like there's actually a big difference between like pros and college tennis. I feel like the level, if you want to be like top 100, let's say, or top 200. So yeah, so I know like obviously I'm gonna play after I'm done with tennis, but this is like the most competitive I'm gonna be. Like this, I literally have like one more year left, so like might as well just enjoy it, while I can, like with all these people. So and it just, I don't know, I just felt like so much more free on court, like not pressured, like. And
Mhm,
yeah, that's I just started playing like much better, and especially during like important points, because again, like the people that you played, you're kind of the same level, like because I played, especially in singles, primarily number two in the lineup, and it's like people play same as you, so it's all very competitive. So I was just like being very good at important points, and yeah, that's how it went. And obviously, like going into the, and I mean, I'm very glad, like with the team we went to the finals for the first time, into Horizon League Championship, and it was awesome. Like I'm really glad, like my kind of career in Milwaukee ended up like this, and it was, I mean, it was awesome. Like, and we were so close. Like we literally lost to Youngstown 4-3, so but it's still good that we went to the final. So yeah.
So I'm gonna ask some tough questions here. Are you ready?
Let's go. Oh, I'm always
All
ready.
right. Well, I want to hear if you had to pick one teammate, one coach, I want to hear who they are, who meant the most to you throughout so far.
Oh, one
I usually
teammate.
give more teammates, but I want you know a lot of
Okay.
people. I got to really like
Yeah.
narrow it down here.
Yeah. Okay. One coach. One coach. Like throughout my whole, like
Yeah,
even if
whole
it's
career.
back home. Okay.
Yep, beginning so far
Okay.
to now where you are right now in DePaul.
I mean, okay, one coach. I would say my actually I would say my second coach. So I had him throughout when I was like so when I started to be like more intentional with my practices. So I had him when I was like from age 10 till age 14 or 15. He was like, I mean, he's an awesome man. He was very like tough person. Like my practices were very tough. He was like very tough on me. But I guess he what he taught me, and it's just like something that I know is gonna help me throughout my whole entire life, is just discipline. Like discipline on the court, discipline like whatever we do. So like it's kind of what I can like help me in college as well. So I was just like very disciplined with everything. And then but he was also like a very fun guy. Like we still talk a lot. Like whenever I'm back home, like right now we're just going for beers with him, you know. So it's like kind of funny because I remember I was like I really like look up to him like this, you know. And now we're just like grabbing beers like friends. And yeah, but he's an awesome guy. But he just like taught me lots of discipline. And I also think he like actually taught me like the basics of tennis and like of the conditioning of how it should be. So probably I'm gonna pick him as my number one. And number one teammate. Okay, well this is like real tough question.
I'll give you a three. How about
I mean,
that? We'll give you a three.
okay,
We'll be
yes,
generous,
yes.
but
Let's go. I love it. Okay, three. Yeah, three is doable. I mean, the first one for sure it's Alex from France. So when I was a freshman, she was a senior. Because again, she like just the way she is, like her presence on the court, the way she's the person, she just taught me like not only like how to be a good doubles partner, but like how to be a good like college tennis player. Like she was very loud on the court. She would support like non-stop because like she wanted to, like she was like the loudest person ever. Like I'm never gonna forget. Like okay, we used to practice like very early, and like 6:30 in the morning, we started like running and jogging and like getting ready for practice. 6:30, she would like scream the loudest, like "Let's go Panthers!" like this. So like just the way she was like excited about everything, and it just, I mean, it just taught me like okay, that's the way it should be, you know. And from there, like well, I was trying also to, you know, whoever came to Milwaukee, to freshmen, and also to our freshmen here at DePaul, like just to kind of share the same like expectations, and so they're gonna love it as well. So definitely Alex. Well, second is definitely Greta Carbone, who sits like in front of me. I mean, this person is just a legend herself. Yeah, I mean the whole story that we, you know, were in Milwaukee, came here together, and right now are playing doubles. I mean, Greta is an amazing player, an amazing person, and shut up. And yeah, she's just a legend, and I love her. So she's the closest person to me right now. So I'm very glad the way it all worked out. And yeah, so she's for sure in there. And then let me think. Third person. Um, let's see. I mean, honestly, like I can pick anyone from like my last year as a Panther, my senior year. Like I mean, it's very hard to pick, but like, okay, let's do Avery Dorham.
okay.
She was also a stud. She was kind of, she has like a long story. She was very good at juniors, and then she was very injured, and she wasn't sure if she wants to, you know, come back to tennis, and then she decided to, and she's just like representation of like hard work, grind. Like I don't know, like she clinched lots of important matches during that year, and I would just like look at her and like, you know how you see like just the fired up person and just like giving it all for the team. And it's like it's, I mean, it's unbeatable. Like you always need people like that, and she's awesome. So yeah, and her as well. So
Awesome. So there's
yeah.
the three teammates, and got it. Two more questions here. I mean, we're gonna first
Let's go.
talk about we're gonna talk more about right DePaul. So you end up at DePaul, and now I mean you mentioned like the tournament. So like there's some tournaments that are going on right now, and then just for people who don't know about tennis, the season really picks up then in January is when you'll see
Yeah,
it. And so I guess going through that, so that's where they're at right now. And like as Maya's mentioned, right, they're going to Seattle, right, for a 3-day tournament on this weekend. Then
yeah,
and I guess I want to hear about the roster. So I'm looking through the roster construction of the DePaul Blue Demon tennis team, and I see a lot of graduate students. Is this a common, is that just something where you guys all ended up just transferring in this year, or is it some that were already there at DePaul? I guess how did that all come about? Because I've never really seen this. Like,
yeah.
was it 5 graduate students?
It's four.
Four.
Yeah,
That's a
four.
pretty big group.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting how it worked out. No, everyone, so all the graduate students, they're all in here, and basically how it works at DePaul that you can do like a combined major. So you can do like your undergrad plus grad school, and you can do grad school in a year. They have like the whole plan. If you just take some like classes that kind of go both, like for undergrad and grad. And so that's what like lots of girls here that were at the poll did, and they're all like everyone is using their COVID year.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's how they're doing it here. But that's actually no, like I mean, it really depends on tennis. Like you can go through rosters. For example, like Northern Illinois University right now they have 5 freshmen.
Wow.
They have 5 freshmen. They have like 2 juniors and I think 1 sophomore. So it's like there's not a common scene. Sometimes like in Milwaukee, I feel we're pretty different. We had like a few seniors, a few juniors. We didn't have sophomores, and then we had freshmen. Like throughout my other years, we had like every single class. Kind of depends on the coach, I would say. Some people like to have a different. Some people don't really care, like as long as they like people and like their tennis. But that's actually like an interesting point because I started talking to DePaul like last year November, and my coach like she came for a visit and saw the way I play. I came here for a visit, and like everything was good. Like she liked everything. I loved it. Like I was like, look, I'm ready to commit whenever. But she was very unsure, like if she wants another grad student, because she's like, well, basically, it's gonna be like half of the team is gonna be gone
Yeah.
after a year, and it's very hard to recruit like good people for the team, and right now she needs like 4 people. So that's why she was like, because I think I don't know, officially I committed like in April or something, because she was just like very considerate, like if she wants to get another person just for 1 year. But then she decided to do so because again, for example, my coach, she's very about like team culture and team environment, like getting the right people to the team. She puts it as a priority, and then she puts tennis, like tennis find anyone else, and that's why she decided to grab me and Greta also. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, this year I'm excited. Like this year, if you look up the roster, we have like a very like mature team, and I think I mean it's already showing. Like we're playing right now. We obviously have been playing for a long time. We know how everything works. So I mean, obviously, like when you have such a mature team, like it's good. It's good for the seat, like for everything. So yeah, I'm excited. Like I think we should be very good, like with the people that we have. And also obviously like we help our freshman Hannah, like and she's awesome. She's like the most mature freshman I think I've ever seen. Like she just gets everything, gets the whole environment, how everything works. She's so fast, and like this weekend she played so well, and she like gets it all together. So, and I feel like we're doing like a good job of helping her obviously, and just like supporting her and stuff like this. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Awesome. I want to hear then about like your career goal. What would you want to be doing then after graduation here at DePaul? What's the plan?
Yeah. So actually I have 2 years of my grad school, and for my second year I'm going to work here as a graduate assistant for like a marketing department. I'm already like, so when we're gonna finish our tournaments, I'm already gonna work actually very closely with basketball here. So I'm gonna do like social media during the matches, and like some stats and stuff like this. And I already talked like Because basically, if you're like a graduate assistant, you can be covered for your tuition, and they also pay you stipend. And so I was like, that's all I need for my grad school.
There you go.
Um, yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then, well, since I'm international, it's pretty hard with job and stuff. So with my visa, I can work here for a year, and then I need to get either like a sponsorship, so they can sponsor my visa, or I need to go back. So my plan is to literally like just to figure out how I can stay here. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I want to work here more than a year for sure. So I'll see how it goes. But I definitely want to stay in US and work here. And yeah, we'll see. I'm still picking between like being in the sports industry world, in the marketing or communications department specifically, or in entertainment sphere, just like in clubs and stuff like this, because I love it both. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how I feel. Maybe like I'm gonna love it so much, just like working for DePaul Athletics, that I would want to stay here. Because I know like lots of people at DePaul Athletics, they kind of started as like being a graduate assistant for like a marketing department or something like that, and they just stayed there. So yeah, that's kind of like my plan. Because yeah, I so far like I love the people here, and I'm actually excited to start working as an assistant for like a marketing department. Yeah.
Awesome, Maya. Well, I want to wish you the best academically and athletically, of course, here for this upcoming season. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
last year of eligibility. And I want to thank you again for coming on here on the College Athlete Spotlight Series. So that's kind of all I have. Do you have anything else here?
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah, it was great to have you here, Maya.
I'm good. Just honestly, thank you so much. Yeah.
Of course. So that's going to wrap it up here for myself, Drew Skyberg, and Maya Perova here. So again, thank you for all listening here, and see you soon. So thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew's Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you.